All right, welcome back to another episode of Become a Calm Mama. I'm Darlene and I'm your host. And today I'm going to talk about holiday overwhelm. And I'm actually going to keep this episode pretty short because I know that you're busy. I know you have a lot going on right now as a mom. And it's the beginning of December today, the day that you hear this episode, it's December 1st, and we're about to kick off the holiday season. And I just came from doing the Say No to Holiday Burnout event, and it was incredible to spend a couple of hours with moms really designing a holiday season that felt really good for them and feels really aligned in their energy. And I loved it so much, I thought I would hop on here and record a podcast episode for all of you. And I'm going to give you just the beginning part of that workshop and talking about how to deal with the overwhelm. And when you just have a lot to do, when you have a lot going on, I want to give you some tools to help you so that you don't have to stay overwhelmed and burned out. And so let's get into it. Oh, well, I was going to say, you can also get the replay for that workshop and the workbook. The workbook, oh my gosh, is incredible. I'm actually taking some of the things that I'm talking about today. I put in the Stress Less Holiday Survival Guide for moms. And this guide, it is so jam-packed. Honestly, it's 20 pages. And in it, I help you deal with holiday overwhelm. I give you a step-by-step process for setting boundaries, which I'm going to teach next week on the podcast. I talk about how to set limits during the holidays with your kids and how to manage meltdowns with your kids. So this workbook and the workshop, they are just full of resources, and I want to make sure you get your hands on them. You can go to my website, calmmamacoaching.com and /holiday burnout, and we'll be sure to get you the workbook. You can also get it on my social media at Instagram at Darlene Childress, and just kind of all the places in the show notes here in the emails that I send. So just be sure you're connected with me, and then you'll be able to get access to this workbook and the replay of the workshop. But I'm going to give you a ton of help right now. So I'm going to start with actually a really simple situation that happened to me before Thanksgiving. I was sitting, I think it was like the Monday before Thanksgiving, and I was feeling super overwhelmed. I was like, oh my gosh, I have so much to do and I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, I didn't know what I was going to serve for dinner. I hosted. Like, I didn't even know what I was going to serve, what I needed to buy, when I was going to go grocery shopping, when I was going to make all the food. I was just like, I'm sure you felt this way. So I did a Thanksgiving thought dump. So I sat down and I just wrote out everything that I needed to do. All the food I wanted to, like, I was like, what am I serving? When am I serving it? What do I need to buy? When am I going to the grocery store? And then I just dumped it all out on a piece of paper. And I noticed immediately that I felt much better. And I was like, okay, I am onto something with this thought dump, because I teach thought dumps to moms in my program in the Calm Mama Club and through, all the Calm Mama coaching program. And it's really like, I teach a thought dump in a way where it's like, if you have a lot of like anger, or you're really overwhelmed with your kids or with parenting, like, just dump out all of your thoughts on a piece of paper. That's how I typically teach thought dumps. But I actually did it in terms of like a very specific circumstance for Thanksgiving. And I was like, this is so helpful. It really helped me clear my mind. And what was going on for me is I actually had built it up in my head that there was so much to do, that there was no possible way I was going to get it all done. And I actually noticed when I wrote down what I wanted to serve for Thanksgiving, it was like 5 dishes. And then what I needed to buy for those dishes, like what, for those servings or, those side dishes, I like wrote that down. And then I was like, okay, this list is not actually that long. And I was like, when am I going to go to the store? And I looked at my calendar and I was like, I'm going to go tomorrow at, 5 o'clock or whatever after the workday. And then I immediately felt better. I was like, okay, it's not that hard. And I'll just, cook on Wednesday. It was like all this space opened up. So I want to invite you to do this for your holiday thought dump. In terms of what do you have to do between now and December 31st? Really sit and think about it, because the overwhelm that you are feeling is probably coming from thoughts like, I have so much to do. I don't even know where to start. I don't know what to do. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing. And then thinking, I'll never get all this done. I'm so behind. And then for me, that tends to lend itself to thoughts like, I suck. I don't have it together. I need to be better. I need to be a better mom, better wife, better business owner. Like I just go into self-criticism, and I want you to pull yourself out of that. Like these are thoughts. They're just sentences in your head, and they're not necessarily true. Like you don't really know if you have so much to do. Now you might, because it's the season where there's a lot to do. But instead of just thinking, oh my gosh, I can't do it all. There's too much, and just sitting in that overwhelm, I'd like you to sit in a place of calm. And the way you do that is looking at the facts. So what is on your list? So sometimes just the simple act of writing down what is in your head can help you feel less overwhelmed. And it'll also start to give you perspective on, okay, that I, can do this day. And your brain will start to problem solve as you do it, as you write it down. Now, if you're in a real big sense of overwhelm, it might be hard for you to even think straight of like what I need to do. So you can start smaller with just like gifts to buy, trips to plan, events to plan, phone calls to make, things to do in the house, right? Just sitting down and writing kind of in categories can help your mind decipher, okay, what is it that I need to be writing down? So when I did this, I was like, oh, okay, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling like I have some clarity. And what was coming up for me while I did the holiday thought dump is I noticed that while I was doing it, that some things felt really hard and not fun. And like, I really just was dreading them. And so I was like, okay, those are things I should notice, because those are things I probably either need to outsource or opt out of. Like I might need to say I'm not doing those this year, or I might need to talk to my husband or my kids or my family members, my extended family, and pull in some support. Or, if I have on this list, like a gift exchange with my best friend, and I'm just feeling dread about that, well, that's really good information for me of like, maybe I want to opt out of the gift exchange with my friend this year. Maybe I want to say to her, I love you and I love doing gifts, but this year I feel a little overwhelmed by it. And I would love it if we didn't do that. And that is really how to say no with kindness. How to say to your kids, we usually, decorate Christmas cookies, or we usually, do this tradition, and this year we're not going to do it. And I know you might be sad about that, and it's okay to feel sad, but I just realized that I'm not able to do that this year. Now, what I notice with moms is that we oftentimes will just stick with all the things that we think we need to do. And we're like, I'll just do it. Like, it's not that big of a deal. It's not a problem. Okay, come on. Don't be so lazy. We get a little critical. We start thinking to ourselves, like, it's more trouble to ask for help than to just do it myself. Or this is just what it's like to be a mom. I just am always busy and sort of halfway miserable, right? Or no one lets me say no. No one lets me ask for help. No one lets me take care of myself. Like you're looking for others to give you permission for something that you're not even giving yourself permission for. So the overwhelm, when you write this list and you see there are things that you don't want to do, you do get to not do them. You can say no to them. The thing is, it's really hard for moms to even figure out like, what do I want to do? What can I say no to? What can I opt out of this year? That's why the list is really important. That's why the thought dump is important, because it lays it all out there, and then you can start to check in with yourself and notice, do I want to do this? Now, asking yourself, do I want to do this, doesn't mean you're necessarily going to do it or not do it, okay? I want you to just begin having a relationship with yourself and your to-do list, yourself and your list of shoulds. Do you want to? Does it sound like fun? Does it sound awful? Just start gauging. What is it that I want and what is it that I don't want to do? Checking in with yourself, asking yourself, is this what I want to do or not? Now, the fun thing about doing a holiday thought dump is you might start to find things that you want to do. You might want to be like, you do the things you should, and then you start to go like, okay, what else? Okay, what else? What else is there? Now, when you start going, what else is there? You might find that what else is there is actually the fun things that you really want to be doing. When I was doing my list, I had all the things I had to do. And then I started to write like Christmas gathering? Question mark? Like, do I want to have a holiday gathering with my friends? Christmas cookies? Question mark? Like, do I want to make cookies this year? Gingerbread houses? Question mark? Christmas lights? Watch holiday movies? I started to kind of move into what I call the yes list. I wrote down a bunch of things I had to do, and then I made space to like, okay, what else? What would I want to do? What is already done? What have I already planned? What am I doing that's already fun? Like, I have some really fun things planned for this holiday season, and I'm looking forward to those. They're on my thought dump, right? They're in my yes list. So after you do your list and you start to notice, okay, I've got everything written down that I have to do, you might notice, okay, what is it that I want to do? And I want you to ask yourself this question. To get out of overwhelm, to be honest, the way that you get out of overwhelm is by putting things on your list that you want to do. You'll get motivated. You'll do those things and you'll be like, oh, great. And then you'll do more. So think about if there were no rules, if there were no expectations, if, you could do anything you want, go anywhere you want, buy anything you want, what would you do this holiday season? Like, think about it. Like, what are your favorite things about the holidays? What do you love? Like, I really like decorating my house. It's really funny because I love decorating my house. And then the minute January 1st comes, I hate the decorations. Like, I'm immediately like, I need all of this crap out of my house. So I'm in that like high vibe right now of the holidays because it's the beginning and I just decorated and I'm like, yay, it's so cute. And then immediately like January 1st, I'm like, get all of this crap out. So I love decorating. I really noticed that I love having the fireplace on during the holidays. Like, I live in Los Angeles, so it's not that cold here, but having the fireplace on gives me that cozy feeling that I'm seeking right now, right? So decorating gives me that cozy feeling. Having the fireplace gives me that cozy feeling. I really want to make sure that I have time with my kids this holiday season. So what do I like about the holidays? I like those things. I like being cozy. I like gathering people. I like being with my kids. And I really like relaxing, like watching holiday movies. And, like kind of laying around. I really love lounging. So I want to build that in as much as I can. So now we're talking about like our yes list, right? So you have your thought dump, your to-do list, and now what do you want to put on your yes list? What kinds of things? So another question to ask yourself, I know I'm going fast, but I got a lot to say. Another question to ask yourself is, what are 3 things you want to make sure you do with your kids this year? Really think about if you could only do 3 things this holiday season with your kids, what would those 3 top things be? And then I want you to make a plan to make those things happen. So when I taught this in the group this past week, a lot of movie nights were established. People were like, I want to do holiday movies with my kids. And I really challenged the moms to say, okay, what movie, what day, like, do you want to eat before, eat after? Like, really plan it for yourself and really set yourself up for success. And then think about like, what is the feeling that I am chasing in a holiday movie? Like, is it connectedness? Is it, well, I guess it's connection, right? Is it connection? Is it love? Is it peace? Is it joy? Is it contentment? What are you looking for when you create these holiday events or these experiences? What are you chasing? Because if you have an idea of the feeling that you want to have while you're experiencing the things, and then while you're having them, check in with yourself and be like, am I feeling peaceful? If I'm not, how can I? How can I relax into this moment? How can I make this better for me? How can I make it work for me? So when I was doing my 3 things I wanted to make sure I do with my kids, I realized that I wanted to make gingerbread houses with them. We used to do it when they were younger, and we did it for many years, and then we haven't the last couple of years, and then they're teenagers, and it's a little bit like, ugh, do they want to? And I was like, actually, I want to. I want to have that experience. And so I'm going to communicate my request to my teenagers. I'm going to say, hey, it's really fun and important to me that we do this holiday tradition. It might be cheesy, it might be silly to you guys, but I would really love it if we could do it. And like, you can eat as much candy as you want or whatever. Or if you would just give me like an hour, I would really appreciate it. So I'm going to make my request known to the people in my life. I'm going to ask them to buy into the things I want. Now, one of the moms said, I really want to go to the Nutcracker with my 10-year-old. And she's like, but I don't think she's going to want to go. And this is kind of true, right? Sometimes we want to do things and we want to do them with our kids, and we know our kids may or may not want to do them with us. And that can just be okay. Like, what I mean by that is, it's okay if your children are grumpy doing an activity. You can be happy even when your children are unhappy. As moms, we're kind of taught like we should make our kids happy, and like if they're unhappy, we should do that. We should do something to fix that. And it's actually not true. Emotions are temporary. Our kids might feel grumpy, they might feel annoyed, they might feel frustrated, they might feel disappointed, and they are actually entitled to those feelings. And we don't need to manage every moment to avoid that negative emotion, because the truth is you could do it all perfectly and your children will still have negative emotion, because that's part of being human. And we don't need to prevent the negative emotion from happening. We want to allow for it and teach our kids how to handle it, how to be in a situation and be grumpy in the middle of it. Now, what I've noticed in my own work and my work with moms is that when we are content and we're like, it's okay if you're grumpy, it's okay if you're disappointed, it's okay if you're unhappy, that our children move through those emotions faster. That when we're not trying to stop that emotion, when we're not trying to change it, our kid doesn't need to dig in so much to show their big feelings. They don't have to work so hard to express them. They can express them, and when they express them, the emotion moves through faster, especially little kids. Little kids can move through emotion real quick, as you've seen. So thinking about what is it that you want to do with your kids this season, and then knowing that they may or may not have a positive emotional experience, and that's okay. So sometimes that holiday overwhelm comes from this idea that I need to make everyone happy and I need to make sure everybody gets what they want this season. And we sort of forget to get what we want. And that overwhelm, the truth is, your pressure that you're putting yourself through to make like this holiday season really, really great for all the people is going to make it overwhelming for you, and you are going to end up disappointed, because children are going to have whatever emotions they're going to have. Everybody in your life is going to have whatever emotions they're going to have. You are going to have whatever emotions you're going to have. Like, this is just the part of being in a relationship with people. People get hungry or hangry, right? They get moody. They get disappointed. They get hurt. They have an idea of what something's going to be like, and they get there and they're like, this isn't how I thought it was going to be. And they feel disappointed. And they don't know how to express that. That happens to you. Sometimes you might take it out on your partner or your kids and be like, well, we should have got here earlier and then we would have had a better seat and like whatever, right? we start to blame others or blame ourselves. And really what we're doing is trying to like shove that feeling away. And we do that with our kids too when they're expressing emotion. So some of the overwhelm in this to-do list, if you're noticing that you're trying to make it really great so that people have a good time, so nobody gets unhappy, it's probably not going to work because people get unhappy even in perfect circumstances. Even when everything is going right, people sometimes have negative emotion. And that's because our emotions come from our thoughts. So even if we're having a great experience, if we're like, well, I thought it was going to be better, you're going to feel disappointed, even if it's wonderful. So just to wrap things up with the holiday overwhelm, here's what I want you to do. I want you to sit in the next day or two and actually write out, dump it all out, all the things that you feel like you should do or that you that are on your list. Just put it all on a piece of paper. You'll notice when you do that your brain is starting to solve for the problems, starting to solve for, when am I going to do that? Is that important? Do I want to do that? You'll notice, I don't want to do that. That sucks. Okay, so that's good information. So you're doing that dump. You're noticing what's coming up. Once you dump all your thoughts out, I want you to ask yourself, what would I want to put on this list? What are things that I want to do? What is it that I want to say yes to? And moving yourself from overwhelm into hopefulness, from overwhelm into joy, from overwhelm into like positive expectation or anticipation. I don't want you're not setting yourself up for disappointment, but you're actually exploring inside what are some things that I want to do this season? What would make it really great for me? And put those on your list. So you're dumping some thoughts out and then you're adding your yes list. I really actually want to hear what it is that you want to do. So I'm going to put on Instagram. I'll probably do it in a couple of days, but I'm going to have a post on there that's like, what is on your yes list for the holidays? And I want you to go to my Instagram at Darlin Childress, and I want you to tell me what is it that is on your yes list, and I'll post my yes list. And we'll all get ideas from each other and we'll all encourage each other. And then when things happen, when we do our yes list, we can come back and be like, I did it, right? And we can all love on each other. That's going to make us all feel better and less overwhelmed. All right. So that's your work this week, doing your holiday thought dump and then working on your yes list. And over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to give you lots of tools of how to manage the stress of the holidays. We're going to talk about the holiday gimmies, like all the things that when your kids want a bunch of stuff from the list. We're going to talk about opting out and boundaries. I'm going to give you that step-by-step process. We're going to talk about setting limits during winter break. So I'm going to give you lots of support. So the next couple weeks are really going to be helpful for you as you move through this holiday season. And I'm really so honored that I get to be part of your parenting journey and especially this holiday season. So yes, go to my Instagram. Tell me what you're doing. I want to know. I want to hear all the things. And I'll tell you what I'm doing. And then just a sneak peek for those of you still listening, I am launching a new small group coaching program starting January 5th. It is all about raising emotionally healthy kids. It's going to be very small group. Like space is going to be limited. Starts January 5th. It's a 3-month group coaching program. Just me and a small group of women. And I'm going to walk you through all of my parenting philosophies and give you really, really high touch support for the whole beginning of January of 2023, from January to March. So that's your sneak peek. If you want to get on that wait list, be sure to book a discovery call with me. You can do that right on my website, calmmamacoaching.com. And just let's pop on a call. I'll tell you all about it. And you can tell me if you want to be on the wait list and reserve your spot, because that is going to sell out for sure. Because it's super good priced. Okay, everyone, have a great week, and I will see you on Instagram or wherever you and I hang out. If you're in the club, I'll see you in the club. And yeah, I'm just wishing you the beginning of a great holiday season. Have a great week. Hey mama, if you enjoyed this podcast episode, I want to encourage you to do two things. The first is go to my website, calmmamacoaching.com, and get a copy of the Stop Yelling cheat sheet. You'll get a step-by-step breakdown of the most important tool I teach, which is the pause break. And you'll also get 40 ideas to reset your body and balance your nervous system so you don't have to yell at your kids. You can get a copy of that, again, at my website, calmmamacoaching.com/stop yelling. The other thing I'd love for you to do is go to Apple Podcasts and rate and review this podcast so that other moms can discover empowering and helpful, practical parenting strategies, just like you did today. Thanks so much for listening to the podcast. It means a lot to be in your ear every week and to support you on your parenting journey.